What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications because we've got some massive Dodgers news to break down today. And I mean massive. We're talking about potential blockbuster moves, roster shakeups, and an emotional farewell that's hitting Dodgers fans right in the feels. So let's dive right into it because there's a lot to unpack. Alright, so the biggest story dominating the headlines right now is the speculation surrounding the Dodgers and whether or not they're going to make another splash move this offseason. Now, if you've been following this team for any length of time, you know that Andrew Friedman and the front office are never satisfied. They're always looking for ways to improve, always searching for that competitive edge. And with the way this offseason has been shaping up, there are whispers, rumors, and legitimate smoke suggesting that Los Angeles isn't done yet. Let's talk about what we know. The Dodgers have already had an active winter. They've made moves to shore up the pitching staff, they've addressed some depth concerns, and they're coming off another championship window season where expectations are sky high. But here's the thing about this organization, they don't just want to compete, they want to dominate. And when you look at the current landscape of Major League Baseball, particularly in the National League West, there's still work to be done. The rumor mill has been absolutely churning lately. We've been hearing names thrown around, from potential impact bats to arms that could bolster an already formidable rotation. Sources close to the organization have indicated that the front office has been in conversations with several teams about possible trades. Now, I can't confirm specific names just yet because things are still fluid. But what I can tell you is that the Dodgers are definitely exploring their options. They're kicking the tires on players who could make an immediate impact, and they're not afraid to be aggressive if the right opportunity presents itself. One area where the Dodgers might be looking to add is the outfield. Now, I know what you're thinking, they've got Mookie Betts, they've got Freddie Freeman, the lineup is already stacked. But depth is crucial. Especially when you're talking about a grueling 162-game season plus a potential deep playoff run. Injuries happen, slumps happen, and having quality depth can be the difference between winning it all and falling short. So don't be surprised if we see the Dodgers target someone who can provide flexibility and production across multiple positions. Another area of focus could be the bullpen. Yes, the Dodgers have one of the better relief corps in baseball, but you can never have too much pitching. We've seen time and time again in October that bullpen depth wins championships. One bad outing, one tired arm, and suddenly your season is on the line. The front office understands this better than anyone, and they're always looking for ways to add quality arms who can get outs in high-leverage situations. Keep an eye on the trade market, and even the remaining free agents because the Dodgers could very well swoop in and grab someone when you least expect it. Now, let's talk about the financial side of things because that always plays a role in these decisions. The Dodgers have one of the highest payrolls in baseball, there's no secret there. But they also generate more revenue than almost any other team in the sport. The ownership group has shown time and time again that they're willing to spend money to win, and that's what fans want to see. However, there are still luxury tax considerations, competitive balance tax thresholds, and all the financial gymnastics that go into building a championship roster. Friedman is a master at navigating these waters, finding creative ways to add talent while managing the books. So even if a big move seems expensive on the surface, don't count out the Dodgers finding a way to make it work. There's also been some interesting chatter about potential trades involving current Dodgers players. Now, this is always sensitive territory because we're talking about guys who have been part of this core, guys who have contributed to the success of this franchise. But in baseball, sometimes tough decisions have to be made. If the right deal comes along, one that makes the team better in both the short and long term, the front office has to at least consider it. I'm not saying anyone specific is on the block, but it's worth noting that in order to get something valuable, you often have to give up something valuable. That's just the nature of the beast. Speaking of departures, let's shift gears and talk about the emotional story that's been unfolding over the past few days. Clayton Kershaw, the living legend, the future Hall of Famer, the guy who has been the face of this franchise for over a decade, his teammates have been saying their goodbyes. Now, before anyone panics, this doesn't necessarily mean Kershaw is retiring immediately, but the writing is on the wall. He's in the twilight of his career, he's dealt with injuries in recent years, and the reality is that we're approaching the end of an era. The tributes from his teammates have been absolutely touching. Guys who have played alongside Kershaw have taken to social media, they've spoken to the press, and they've shared personal stories about what he means to them both as a player and as a person. Mookie Betts called him one of the greatest competitors he's ever been around. Freddie Freeman talked about the leadership Kershaw brings to the clubhouse every single day. Even younger players who have only been with the organization for a short time have expressed their gratitude for the opportunity to learn from a legend. What makes Kershaw so special isn't just the numbers, although those speak for themselves. 3 Cy Young Awards, an MVP trophy, countless All-Star appearances, over 2,000 strikeouts, he's done it all. But it's the way he's done it that resonates with people. The competitiveness, the preparation, the professionalism, the way he's carried himself through ups and downs. Kershaw has been the model of consistency and excellence, and he's set the standard for what it means to be a Dodger. I've been covering this team for years, and I can tell you that when Kershaw finally does hang up his cleats, it's going to hit different. This isn't just another player retiring, this is the end of a generation. Think about everything this guy has been through with this franchise. The heartbreaking playoff losses, the criticism, the questions about whether he could win the big one, and then finally breaking through and getting that World Series ring. He's lived every high and low, and he's done it all in Dodger blue. The current roster knows how special this moment is. They know that they're witnessing the final chapter of a legendary career, and they want to make the most of whatever time they have left with him. Whether Kershaw pitches one more season or decides to call it a career sooner, his impact on this organization will be felt for decades to come. His number will be retired, there will be statues and ceremonies, and his legacy will be cemented as one of the all-time greats not just in Dodgers history, but in baseball history period. Now, tying these two storylines together, you have to wonder how Kershaw's situation factors into the front office's plans. If he does decide to retire or if his role is going to be significantly reduced, that creates a need in the rotation. The Dodgers will need to replace not just the innings, but the leadership, the experience, the October pedigree that Kershaw brings. That could be another reason why we're hearing so much about potential moves. The front office might be preparing for life after Kershaw, building a staff that can compete at the highest level even without their longtime ace. Let's also talk about the urgency factor. The Dodgers have a window right now with this core group of players. Betts is in his prime, Freeman is still producing at an elite level, guys like Will Smith and Julio Urias are in their peak years. The time to win is now, and everyone in that organization understands that. You can't assume you're going to be this good forever. Opportunities to win championships don't come around every year, even for teams with the resources of the Dodgers. So if there's a move to be made that increases your chances of winning it all, you make that move. You don't wait, you don't hesitate, you go for it. The fan base is certainly feeling that urgency too. Dodgers fans are some of the most passionate in baseball, and they expect excellence. They've seen their team win over 100 games multiple seasons, they've seen deep playoff runs, and they want to see more championships. The standard in Los Angeles is incredibly high, and anything less than a World Series is considered a disappointment. That might sound harsh, but that's the reality when you're one of the premier franchises in sports. The pressure is real, but so is the commitment to winning. As we head into the heart of the offseason, all eyes are going to be on the Dodgers to see what they do next. Will they pull off a blockbuster trade that shakes up the baseball world? Will they make a quiet under-the-radar move that ends up being genius? Or will they stand pat and trust the roster they've already assembled? My gut tells me that we're going to see at least one more significant move before opening day. Drop a comment below and let me know what move you want to see the Dodgers make, and what your favorite Clayton Kershaw memory is. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's go Dodgers! Claude is AI and can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.